Chapter 16, Forgiving. Another good chapter. Needless to say, evidence of my fight the night before did not disappear when I woke up the next day. If anything, it just got more noticeable when I moved, or for that matter, thought of moving. I groaned awake and shuffled on my way to the shower to inspect the bruises. Every inch of my chest and sides were sore. My arms were littered with bruises from the 10 seconds of stomping I received before Jay stepped in. I was hurt, but not hurt bad. My pride more than anything, and if Jay hadn't stepped in, I would have been a lot worse off. I made some foolhardy promises to myself to take up a martial art when I finally left home and made my way downstairs to face the music. Mom was already up. "How was the dance, sweetie?" she asked, but like all moms, their innate sense of fakery and bullshit picked up quick. She could smell me trying to hide something a mile away, and my creaking body and shuffling walk set her off. "What's wrong? Are you okay?" "Nothing, Mom. That's a lie." "You look sore. What happened last night?" she questioned after further turning my face and giving me the complete look over. "Nothing, Mom. I'm fine." It was a major lie. I was not fine. I was hurt, and it sucked. What I didn't have a chance to do was check my face, which ported a 2-inch abrasion on my left eye, one from one of the kicks I sustained last night. She noticed the redness and marched over, and I winced and let her inspect me. "Oh my God," she shrieked, honestly more painful than the bruises of the pre-coffee. "What the hell happened to you?" "Nothing, Mom, just some idiots at the dance. Jay took care of me and them, and I'm fine." "Still a lie." "Oh God, Mom, please just let me have a shower." She lifted my shirt because I was favoring my side and said, "Mom's superpowers are real, I tell you. This woman could see through anything," and she gingerly moved the fabric and gasped. A large blue and deep purple bruise was forming on my side. "You're not fine. You're an assault victim." "It wasn't assault, Mom. It was a fight between high school kids, and it was taken care of. I just want to go have a shower and have a coffee and pretend it didn't happen because it won't happen again." I was sure my explanation was sincere, but I wasn't entirely convincing. There was a long and painfully tense silence, and I struggled to look fine while standing in what must have been a cracked rib, a baker's dozen of bruises and scrapes. She shooed me away with her hand and went back to the kitchen, and I limped over to the bathroom for a shower. The hot water stung the sore spots, but eventually let the tension out of my muscles and bones. I could have stayed under the blissfully warm shower head forever. But our new house only had a tank big enough for about 20 minutes of hot water, so I really didn't want to be cold and hurt. After struggling to dry my body off, I wiped the fog off the bathroom mirror and checked my face out. "What a jerk," I said, and I hoping I would get the chance to have a similar face injury with Tony. And then I stopped myself. Jay already did that. I stood there for a good long time trying to figure out where my vengeance went, but not knowing that he had already got a face full of knuckles, and it brought a bit of peace to what was already a stressful morning. What wasn't peaceful was the void of reasons that still evaded me as to why Sarah and Tony's girlfriend left like they did, and why Tony equated that with being my fault. "Make yourself presentable," I heard Mom's voice through the door of the bathroom. "We're going to church." I sighed into the steam and my bruises and began combing my hair, seeing if I could hide the now bright red scrape on my face with it. Church was the same delightful social gathering that it had always been, but now filled with 1,000 quizzical looks of what happened to the Weeks boy. It wasn't quite judgment, but I know it wasn't concern. Jay was absent from the congregation, as was Kylie and Sarah. I guess I wasn't the only one brave enough to confess the night's sins of brawling and dancing. I sat with Mom and more endured the service than enjoyed it, and after a long song we got up and quickly made for the door that would have made a clean getaway, but Dad caught us at the door. "Heard about the fun last night," he said with a hint of fatherly growl in his voice. "I've been assured that nothing happened," Mom responded with a thick layer of sarcasm, much to my unbelief. "Well, Jay's grounded for having bloodied knuckles and breaking curfew, and apparently Tony Smith has a bit of a broken nose. On top of that, there were unconfirmed reports. A few other kids trounced last night as well." He lifted a piece of hair covering my scrape. "You should try and stay on your feet next time, son," he said with a smirk. "Maybe avoid the punches and give some of your own first." "We are not encouraging this, Jared," Mom snapped. "Wouldn't dream to," he said, putting up his hands in faux defeat. "We're having a good-sized chicken dinner tonight. You and Chris should come by." Mom glanced at me quickly. "Should we bring anything?" "Oh, heavens, no," he replied. "But why don't you grab Audrey and take your car, and I'll hop up to the house with Chris here. I want to make sure your furnace is working good before the winter really sets in. These old farmhouses have their quirks and all." There was too much of an awkward silence not to notice it, but Mom agreed. She walked over and hugged Audrey, a very strange family showing the kind of love that's possible, I guess, and climbed into the truck not wanting to wince, but probably letting more than a few out. The joys of a blended family, I tell you. That was Chapter 16. Rural. Go check it out. Links in the description below, and we will talk to you guys later.